If you would like your tremolo to be perfect, watch this video where I share 5 things I have learned to improve this technique for myself. I will show you a few exercises which you can introduce to your daily practice to make your tremolo much less uneven, unbalanced, and tensed. For me, it was 7 years until I discovered the method improving my tremolo to the stage which you heard in the beginning. And for you, if you use this method, it might be around 3 days until you notice the first changes and probably around a month until you master it. The whole idea of the tremolo is focused on the balance between 2 things. First of all, the balance of speed. And second of all, the balance of volume. Balance of speed, meaning you play every note evenly, and balance of volume, meaning you play each note in a way so none of them stands out, so your tremolo is fluent. Both speed and volume proportions come from muscle tension of your right hand, which is trainable, meaning you can improve it. This is the roadmap how to build a perfect tremolo technique, and I will explain to you every point in detail. 1. Make your right hand stable. 2. Learn how to keep your fingers close to the string. 3. Make the power of each finger the same. 4. Make the connections between the fingers fluent. And 5. Speed it up. And make sure to watch the video until the end for a bonus pro tip. And if you have some exercises which you find valuable different than the method which I'm about to introduce you, please feel free to share in the comments. I'm always very happy to learn new things too. And you can also let me know later in the comments how the method which I introduced to you here impacted your tremolo technique. Now let me explain to you each of 5 steps of the tremolo blueprint. You can take, of course, your favorite tremolo piece and apply those methods to the piece. However, I tend to practice my tremolo separately before I apply it into the piece, just for the reason of not being distracted by shifts in my left hand, so I can focus only on my right hand perfectly, so it's done, and then after I can apply it to the piece. Points number 1 and 2 we can actually solve with one exercise, so the stability of our right hand and proximity of the fingers to the string. The exercise looks like this. We put all the fingers, playing fingers, on the strings. Let's say we play on the diminished chord here. And what we want to do is place all the playing tremolo fingers, A, M, I, on the first string and then play them one by one from the string. This way we keep the position of our right hand in one place and fingers are super close because they are on the string. And this exercise looks like this. And so on. Of course, you have to repeat it a lot of times to see the effect. But what you can notice already, its 2 first sounds of the tremolo are muted because you play them from the string, and just the last sound will be actually on the full sounding string. What is also very important in this exercise is to prepare each group before playing it. So after playing first 4 notes, you prepare again the fingers on the string, which looks like that. Preparation, preparation, preparation. The only finger which you can prepare already after playing the first note is your thumb, because after playing you can switch it to the next string and it looks like this. And change, and change, and change, and so on. Solving the point number 3, which is having the same power for each finger, we can solve 2 ways. The first way is a very controversial exercise and rather uncommon one, and it's playing tremolo by all the fingers together, including the pinky one. So it would look like this. And so on. why it's effective? Because your fingers physically, where they are in the group and they have the string to push on, they will automatically distribute the power evenly through all of them, including the pinky, so your tension between the fingers stays perfectly balanced. There is no single finger which is more tense than the others, because they all are doing the same action with the same movement. So for example, while practicing the piece, this exercise shall look like this. And so on. And now the second way of dealing with the same problem is to apply the apoyando technique while playing the usual tremolo. So it would look like this. And so on. So why this method works is because while playing apoyando, you use all the power of all the finger, not only of half of them, but rather all the finger moves to provide the power to strike the string. So while playing this method, you will have to assess the efficiency by your ears. You will have to hear if you play any unnecessary accent and eliminate it. Because what is important here is to try by ear to put the right balance while playing all the fingers. So then later, when you diminish the amount of finger used for the tremolo technique, it is much more efficient and much more precise. Ideally, it's perfect to use both of those methods, first playing by fingers all together, and then after playing one fragment, you can play the same fragment with apoyando technique, just to make sure that power of each of your fingers stays the same and it's perfectly balanced. So the thing number 4, making the connection between fingers even, is to apply all the habits which you've learned in the previous exercises in your usual tremolo, so it's much more fluent and effortless. And the way you do this is by mixing your usual tremolo and this method of playing all the fingers together. So it shall look like this. So basically you exchange 4 notes of playing tremolo by all the fingers and 4 notes of the usual tremolo, which is again like that. All together separately, all together separately, all together separately, and so on. And you can of course think about the preparation of the thumb in advance. This way you will be secured from each side. So in the piece it would look like this. And so on. And finally, the thing number 5, which is speeding up your tremolo. There are 2 methods of speeding which work absolutely perfectly for me, and I don't know any better methods which I can get faster and more efficient to the quicker tempo. And those methods are dotted rhythms and grouping the notes. Dotted rhythms allow you to play very fast movement and very slow one in both combinations, so you practice each variation of movement in a very short and quite longer period of time. And the grouping methods, which are, for example, playing 4 quicker notes and 4 slower notes, or another way of grouping notes is putting them in certain groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this last one I would not recommend in case of tremolo, because this can make your tremolo actually more uneven. So I think most of you are familiar with the dotted rhythms, but anyway, I'll show you that. In the case of tremolo, it looks like this. The first pattern . And the second pattern, which is opposite. And as you can see, I am preparing each note whenever I can. Whenever I have this time where is the longer distance, right, between 2 notes, I'm able to prepare. If it's even 1 finger, I'm doing that just to keep my right hand stable. So all the time referring to the point 1, because stability of the right hand is, I think, very crucial for tremolo technique. So with this method, with dotted rhythms, we were able to practice each variation of a very slow and fast movement on a very small scale. And now if you want to bring it in bigger scale, let's group the notes. So one method can be, for example, 4 notes slower, 4 notes faster, or opposite, and it would look like this. Or opposite. Which would look in the piece like that. And so on. And as you can notice, when I play the slower group, I all the time prepare the fingers on the strings, which is very important because then I'm able to bring those good habits to the faster tempo too. And the other type of grouping, which is, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and so on, would look like this. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on would look like this. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 would look like this. And so on. And now why 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 would not work here is because usually people who struggle with even tremolo have exactly this problem, that they play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is kind of this pattern of a horse which is running, and I had this problem very much when I started my tremolo, so I played tremolo basically like that. And for me it was very dangerous, so I don't advise this exercise. Maybe you have another problem and this will actually help you. For me, it was actually a bad idea, and I had to figure out for a very long time what works for me, and this didn't. And in the piece, it could look like this. Or And this way I am sure that my tremolo will be perfect if I just give those exercises enough time to grow my habits in my muscles of right hand. And now the bonus pro tip, which I wish someone told me before, to practice your tremolo not only on the first string, because almost every tremolo piece, or if not every tremolo piece, contains the tremolo on the second string, sometimes on the third string, sometimes on the fourth string. And many guitarists, including myself, struggle with fixing the right position for the right hand and right proportion between the fingers, which is apparently super different from playing on the first string. So when you apply those methods, those exercises to the second, to the third string also, it may really help you when you are struggling after with certain moments in the pieces. And a second bonus pro tip for those who are watching still, you can always mix those methods. So for example, when you are grouping, you can always play another exercise mixed within grouping. What I mean is when you play the slow group, you have enough time to apply some method. So you can play, for example, slow group apoyando and normal group just normally, or you can play normal group just normally, or the slow group like the first exercise I showed you, or even like the second exercise, and it would look like this. Or like that. Which is not at all that easy as it may seem. Make sure to check my video when I talk about playing scales in intervals, including the tremolo technique, which apparently can be useful also for the left hand. Tremolo for the left hand. Yes, it can be useful. Probably it will be somewhere here. I'm pretty sure if you practice your tremolo this way with keeping the order of the exercises, and when you give it enough time and you are patient, there is no way you will not improve your tremolo. And I am sure that if I knew all of those methods when I started my first tremolo piece, I would have learned it and my tremolo would be even. And instead of that, I spent 7 years of looking for the right solution. Well, I'm glad I found it and I shared it with you so you can save your time. And if you would like to see which technique could also have an impact on another one, like for example, apoyando having impact on tremolo, definitely check out my book where I talk about that. And as I mentioned before, the book is free, all for you to use to help you get inspired and improve your technique. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on that and how those methods worked for you. And in the meantime, enjoy your practice.